Changing Family Dynamics, Queer and Step Families by Mia Clark and Sophie Williams.
The idealized nuclear unit of the 1950s continues to permeate the public consciousness definition of family. However, research shows that this composition, which is often heteronormative, white, and upper middle class, was an anomaly. Because diversity in family types today is so prominent, it is important to challenge the privileges we give to the nuclear archetype.
Families have changed due to the legalization of same-sex marriage, increasing levels of divorce, rises in cohabitation, changes in the gendering of labor, standards for parenting, and greater acceptance of interracial relationships, just to name a few.
In the present video essay, we will examine how changing family dynamics have impacted American youth. We interviewed 4 young people from ages 9 to 21. Our participants were asked about their definition of family and their experiences regarding step and queer families. We draw on sources including Moore's Invisible Families, Rowley and Sweeney's Divorce, Repartnering, and Step Families, and 2 New York Times articles.
We interview Mia's siblings, Ruby and Oliver, who are 9 and 11 respectively. We also speak to my cousin Olivia, who is 14, and our mutual friend Emma Jane, who is 21. We chose these interviewees based on their wide age range, differing family experiences, and diverse political views. First, we ask each of our participants about what family means to them and who is in their family.
What does family mean to you?
It means to me that they'll spend the rest of my life with me and take care of me.
You.
Sticking together and being together.
What I feel like family is to me is people who will help you go through life problems and will be honest with you.
I think family to me is it's not just limited to blood, there's also chosen family, but I think family is anyone that that no matter what you talk about, there will always be you'll always come back to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we asked our participants about their understanding of step families, changes in family patterns, and experiences in blended families. Rowley and Sweeney identify lower socioeconomic status, premarital cohabitation, and higher educational attainment as predictors of divorce, while being male and living with children are predictors of repartnership. We asked the following questions gently as I, Mia, am in a step family with my siblings. As Amy Carlton's New York Times article, At Last, Connected by Blood, shows us, this can be a highly emotional topic. You know how me and you have a different mom, or more, I have 2 moms?
Yeah.
Because I have your mommy Robin, and then I have my mom.
Yeah.
So we're like a step family. Do you know what that means?
It means so your mom used to be married to Daddy, and then they went apart, and then Daddy married someone else.
Yeah.
So that, Robin is your mom and that other mom.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that makes anything different, though, about us?
No.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Do any of your friends have divorced parents?
Yes, 2 of my friends have divorced parents, and then my brother got a divorce as well, so definitely.
Mm-hmm. And do all of the people, all the families that you mentioned, are there step siblings and step parents? Have they gotten remarried?
No, for one of my friends, no step siblings, step parents, but one of my friends, Soraya, her mom has a boyfriend now. So, and then Casey, or he's my brother, he got remarried, and so, but I feel like they all, for the most part, have good relationships and are getting along great, and from what I've seen anyways.
Do you have any friends that are in step families or half families?
Yeah.
So it's pretty normal?
Yeah.
Or would you say it's not normal?
It's normal, but it's not really that common.
Yes, they all love their newest sibling of the family. They love her and absolutely adore her, and they're all working out very well, and any problems that they have, they seem to work it out quite nicely.
Next, we asked our interviewees about their experiences regarding queer families. In 2015, the Supreme Court protected same-sex marriage in the United States under the Constitution. Awesome. Do you remember the day of the 2015 Supreme Court ruling to legalize same-sex marriage?
Mm-hmm.
If so, what was your initial reaction?
I remember where I was, and I think, how old were we in 2015?
We were like 13.
We were like 13 or something. Yeah, it was in the summer. I wasn't at home. I was out of the country visiting some family, but I was sitting in one of the little like cafes in the town, and I saw it on my iPad news. And I remember like I knew exactly like what I was, but I knew, but I wasn't like, I thought about it all the time, but I didn't like actualize it. That's not something I talked about with like my family or like my friends or anything. It was just something I like supported. And so I remember seeing it, and just, maybe it's also because like the environment and like country I was in, but I remember having to keep like my excitement like to a minimum.
You know how there's some families with 2 moms or 2 dads that are married?
Kind of.
Do you know any families like that?
I think maybe I had one friend in like 3rd or 4th grade that they don't go to my school, and I'm not friends with them anymore. I think they had 2 more.
Did you know that until 2015, in a Supreme Court ruling, those moms wouldn't have been able to be together?
No.
Yeah, so it was banned for there to be 2 moms or 2 dads. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
You think that anyone should be able to get married?
Yeah.
It's just a question, it's not.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend. I'm in love with her. I think with her being Mexican and both of us being women, it's put a lot of things into like perspective that I think like I had thought about before, because like they're just like around me, but I hadn't actually like experienced them. And so like not only am I gay, but like I see the difference in the way that we're both treated, even like by our own friends and like family, just because of like her skin color and stuff, and how kind of sometimes she's a lot more undermined than I am, or people will go to me to ask a specific question, even if it's about Spanish, which is like her first language. But so, you know, and it's not even me experiencing it. It's just, I think when you, kind of shows like when you really love someone and like family, like you've been talking about, and you actually listen, that's when you start to kind of understand someone else's experience. But I love my girlfriend, and I love learning from her.
We were surprised to find that the division of labor in Emma Jane's relationship seems based on the gender presentation of each of the partners. However, she still believes that her relationship with her girlfriend is more equal than that of her straight peers. These findings are somewhat in line with Moore's argument in Invisible Families, which states that Black lesbian relationships tend to center egalitarianism.
The division of labor look like in your relationship, like material, like chores or paying for dates, invisible work versus visible work?
I think a lot of that comes from like our love languages. So hers is definitely like acts of service, which like I love doing things for her, but also like I can get super lazy and I love to not do anything. So I think in terms of like chores, I could probably be a bit better of like being a little bit more proactive about just doing them without her telling me that she would like me to do them. But then also when it comes to like words of affirmation and stuff like that and quality time, I think that's where I maybe like require a little bit more, and she isn't like a very big person of like words of affirmation. She just like is quiet. But the nice thing is that whenever we need something from the other, it's usually a pretty easy conversation. It's like scary to bring something up that like you need from someone because you're scared that like it's gonna make them feel bad.
Do you think like the division of labor in your relationship is the same or different from a heterosexual couple? Yeah.
I hear, based on what my friends talk about, I hear it's very different. And I would imagine it to be very different. I mean, not that there is always like a male role in like a relationship, but I think in mine specifically, I tend to be a little bit more of like the male in the relationship. And so whenever my friends talk to me like about their boyfriends or something that like kind of pissed them off about like division of labor or like an argument they got into. I think I'm kind of able to kind of speak from the guy's side and be like, I think I know where they're coming from. It's just the problem is that they didn't communicate that. But that being said, I think like even with that, like they'll tell me about things and there are some things that I just don't understand because my girlfriend and I just don't work like that.
It is important to note that neither member of this relationship is Black. Emma Jane is white and her girlfriend Laura is Latina. However, we can see in her responses how financial independence is valued. Furthermore, their relationship is affected at the intersections of sexism, homophobia, and racism. While we intended to interview Laura as well, she could not make it.
But like I said, it's also like hard like seeing the things that like she goes through, because I think, you know, like any white person who tries to be a good person can like argue that like racism is very alive. But and like even if we know it's bad, we still won't ever know what that's like. And this is the closest I've ever been to experiencing it, is with someone that I just love with my whole heart. Just I see be treated that way, and so that's really hard. But also I think at the same time I'm very grateful for it, because I think it puts me in my place a little bit, and it makes me know when to kind of speak up around other people or when to bite my tongue.
In conclusion, our sample of American youth appear aware of changing family dynamics and how they affect them. However, our participants emphasize a meaning of family that centers love, loyalty, and acceptance.
Never judge people by their personalities. And like if they have a step family, don't judge them.
That's awesome.